Hello, Brett here from LMS Models. We have all your TT120 needs from Hornby, Pico. Also, we are the exclusive stockist of Westhill Wagon Works TT120 range. Come and join us for our 20th anniversary 5-day event here at LMS Models, where you can come and chat with all the major manufacturers.
Thanks, Brett. Chris here at PTT120. Just want to wrap a few little bits and bats up before we get into the review about the Coronation class and the LMS coaches, the 57 foots. Now, if you're anywhere near Middle Earth, okay, get yourself over to Brett's opening day, particularly if you're into TT120, the Thursday, because that's the 4th of July. I know we're supposed to be voting on that day, whatever, and the Americans are rather pleased about something from a few hundred years ago. But there's also a really big event happening, or big announcement for TT120 that's going to happen at that event on that day. Okay. You can put 2 and 2 together and get 5 or 6 or 4 if you're lucky. But have a little look at who's going to be at that event. Might give you an idea why I think it's worth your while going along there. I'll be there for the day as well. Okay, so we can do a bit of a meet and greet if you like. Now, I've been very busy, but I haven't forgotten about the Class 90 giveaway from Jeremiah Bunyan. Okay, from Scalar Rail. This little baby. Okay, and we did video picking names out of a jar, but I didn't video it. I hadn't turned the camera on. Jimmy was at school. He told me afterwards that I should stick by whoever I picked out because that's the person we picked out. Now, we're a small pond, the TT120 community, so some of you may have already heard of him. Now, the winner is, for this, drumroll, at East Mallingford Railway. Now, that's a small TT120 channel, about 30 odd subscribers, so pop along and have a look at them. They're also known, aka Postman on the Rails. Now, that's a name you might have seen on the forums, and he's also got a blog. So there'll be details of the blog as well, either here on the screen or in the More tab below. Okay. Well done, Posty. There's an email address in my channel info. Chuck us an email and we'll get this delivered to you. Okay. Right. And the next thing I want to tell you about is, you may have noticed at the front end, I now have a proper channel sponsor. Chris at Chris at Westhill Wagon Works told me that I'm the only TT120 channel he bothers looking at, and so therefore, ergo, is the only one he's bothered sponsoring. So, very gratefully received a proper channel sponsorship from Chris. Now, that doesn't mean we'll be forgetting about Brett at LMS Models. He'll be popping up every now and then, and he'll be sticking some adverts in when he's got something to promote and show. But Westhill Wagon Works really want to carry on promoting their TT120 range. They've got so much stuff in the pipeline. And we'll be having a word from that sponsor in a minute after this little section. We've got so much stuff coming through from Westhill Wagon Works, who have been, I would say, probably the lead supporter when it comes to the surrounding network of small companies that have said, yeah, we like this TT120. They've been around from day one. They've had big, they've developed their presence, their TT120 presence at every show I've seen them over the past 2 years now. And so in another video, we're going to be reviewing some of the new stuff, and we'll be doing a big bundle giveaway. Whether or not we split that up so that there's more than one winner, I'll have a look at what we've got. Okay? So over to Chris. I'll see you on the other side.
New from West Hill Wagon Works, their concrete cable trough trunking pack in TT120 scale. If you use the code PTTT120, you'll get 5% off all TT120 products online.
Well, thanks, Chris. Should we get on with the review? Here we go.
The old format faithful, end of box, TT3010M, LMS Princess Coronation, Duchess of Atholl, 462, number 6231, era 3. Minimum radius 310, they say. Interesting new addition to their packaging. Some foam blocks. I assume it's to prevent rattling in the post. The as promised front coupler, which can be screwed on. I won't be using it, but if you've got an end-to-end, that would be a nice addition. They've left off the steps, a few other details. Obviously, they won't really work very well on tight curves. On a looser curved layout, you may even want to put the flanged pony truck wheels, and that's a nice little addition. Now, I thought I'd compare weights, seeing as the Duchess has this big cast boiler. Here's the Flying Scotsman at 121 grams. Then the Class 50, which everyone's raving about, at 192, obviously considerably more. And the Duchess, wow, 194 grams. This is going to have some serious oomph, particularly with that 5-pole motor. So let's have a closer look at the detail and the little added on parts. First word that comes to my mind, of course, is crisp. But yeah, phenomenal. I would say it's as good as, if not in some areas, better than the earlier models. Particularly that cab. And we'll have a closer look at that if I get this focus to work. We'll have a look in the cab in a bit. Not so sure about the colour of the pipes that hang out from underneath the cab, but maybe a little bit of weathering might knock them back, make them look a little less plasticky. The rest of the detailing, though, I mean, just look at that mechanism and all those add-on bits. Superb, absolutely superb. Most of this I can't actually see with my naked eye. Inside that cab, that grilled floor, beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and everything else picked out perfectly. Astonishing detail inside there. So it would make a fantastic showcase model. Obviously not necessary for driving around on a layout, but still beautiful to have. The underframe detailing and printing and painting, yep, super crisp, unlike my focusing. I've got to get myself a proper camera. These phones just don't work for me. And then, yeah, we don't look very much at the end, but the shed codes and whatever, they're all super detailed, super sharp. Absolutely love it. Now let's crack on with fitting the HM7000 decoder so we can have a go with the loco. Now, they recommend you insert a thin tool to help remove the coal. I didn't fancy this. It all seemed a bit too tight, so I stuck some tape on and just lifted it out. Seemed to be a much better way. Now, figure 5 says, please note, space has been allowed in the tender for a sugar cube speaker, as shown in figure 5. It all made sense to me, so I thought I'd crack on. Didn't quite work out like that, though. Okay, so I tried to follow the instructions. I tried and tried and tried to get that speaker in there, tucking it as far in as I could, tried it different ways, tucking the wires out of the way, trying to get it in there, remove the sponge in the middle to see if that would make a difference, and no, I could not get that thing to fit. So I decided, right, tender body's coming off. Now initially I ignored figure 6, thinking it was just about detail that hadn't already been fitted anyway, and in my rush to try and remove it, I didn't realise there were 2 screws there. It's not like the Pacific tender. It has screws in all 4 corners and a fifth one holding the brake detail in place. So now the tender body's clear, I thought I'd give it another go, try and put it in place and see what the issue was. But as I did so, turned it on its side, I realised it was never really supposed to fit there at all and it was never going to work. But then I caught a glimpse of something that caught my eye. So I thought, well, what's underneath there? Let's take a few screws out, have a little look-see, and who's in here? A little guy. A sugar cube pre-fitted. Not at all like the instructions, whatever. So I was dumbfounded, but relieved, and then we cracked on with getting the job done. You're out of here. I'd had enough. This was either going back to Hornby or I was going to find a place for a power bank. So I thought, whip the PCB board off. I knew there was a big speaker box there. Let's go check it out. And lo and behold, there's a huge void with these special baffles that you get inside mobile phones that Carl had been talking about. And I'm thinking, will they fit an AE power bank? Well, with a bit of dremeling, clear the space out, get those baffles away. Yes, they do fit. An AE power bank will go in there. Absolutely perfect. We're in business. Just need to tuck it all back in, and we'll just tighten up the blue cable underneath. Tum-de-tum. Done. Eee. Well, 10 end of boxes. You can pause it and read it yourself. Cheers. Right, time to look at the 57s. They come with a little extra bag of the doors, and that's for the end of your brake van, or the end of your train, beginning and end. I don't see the point of putting them on in between. The detail is brilliant. Sorry for the shaky cam. I think I've had too much coffee, waiting for the Duchess to turn up. Look at the crest. It's just. Oh, I'm really looking forward to weathering these up as well. I think they're really going to pick up some nice detail. But again, I know it's an overused word, but it is all crisp when it's in focus. There we go. So this is the first class coach. I love the steps at the end, near the bogie there. they're just fantastic. The detail is just, yeah, absolutely spot on. Here's your standard or third class. Again, it's just a match to the first class in detail. Nice little windows at the end of the guard's van. It's a semi-detail inside there. I can't get the camera to focus on it because the glasses just distorts it too much. But yeah, aren't they just wonderful? You know, I wasn't too sure about buying these, thinking I might just have the BR locos, but I'm glad I have. I know they've got a couple of little running problems that have been pointed out on Facebook. We'll talk a little bit about that a little later on, but let's just enjoy the view of these. I think it's just great. The detail we're getting from Hornby, these body shells, the model making on these is just, it's absolutely spot on. And while we're about it, let's go and have a quick look at the early BR Blood and Custards. And these are, of course, just as superb and crisp and tidy as the original Era 3 LMS. The graphics on these, though, on the windows, and the windows seem to highlight more because of the custard. The custard's a bit yellow in this bit of footage I took. They're not that yellow actually in real life, the models that is. But as I said, you absolutely spot on when it comes to all the detail. Quality focus camera work there. There we go. Absolutely spot on. I love them. In fact, I love everything that comes out of them. But I wish, it's a tough one. I hope that Hornby have had enough feedback now about the fact that these bogies haven't been moulded very well and that the wheels, in some instances, have too much slop, so they actually scrape on the underside of the carriage. Now, Gary Hall, who you're probably all familiar with on Facebook and on the forum, he gets right into these straight away. The first fix he tried was with dremeling away where the wheels actually scrape, and that does work, but some people might think it's a bit aggressive, a bit frightening to do. And the other thing he's done is he's put some little plastic shims to keep those axles away from the surface. Both have worked. Link to his YouTube channel in description below.
As Peachy says in my little end credit, there's nothing much more to say, really, except that I'd like to point out that I thought it was time I put my money where my mouth was and actually had a go at supporting a a retailer myself. So this loco was actually bought from Maux Models, and it got to me before Hornby's did. Okay, only by a day, but I want to get across the fact that you're obviously, with my links below, my affiliate links below, you obviously should please buy from Hornby, of course, but your local retailer can give you just as good a service, okay, and perhaps maybe a little bit more of a human touch if that's what you want. If you prefer that to online shopping. I mean, who doesn't like walking around a shop and having a look at all the bits and bats they've got? Although sometimes it's a bit dangerous, you come out with more than you planned on, but that's okay for the retailer. Okay, right. So don't forget to like and subscribe, ring the little bell, poke Peachy in the face. I think he's over here now somewhere, but here he comes. Take care. I promise in the next few videos we'll have some model making in. Okay. Hornby just needs to stop releasing stuff. See you soon. Cheerio, bye.
And that's all there is to tell. I'll be on my way now, sir. I've got urgent business in the south. I have to meet a man at Melbourne Junction.